How you doing, guys? Today I am giving a little follow-up to my last video where I asked for suggestions on whether or not to restore or refurbish my Senior, and the overwhelming comments clearly is to restore the tractor. So I have made the mental note and decision that I will be restoring my Senior from front to back, top to bottom. Every nut and bolt is going to be either replaced, fixed, replated. It's going to get painted. Everything to make it as nice, if not a touch better, than the day it rolled out of the Wheel Horse, I guess it was South Bend garage by the Pond individuals. So, but that has caused one thing. I have kind of, in my mind, delayed the start of the project only because I really need to go over the entire tractor front to back, give you a total overview of exactly what is entailed in the restoration prior to starting the restoration. I also want to get my new computer and my editing software. That way I can edit the videos in such a way that keep them interesting, and concise too. I mean, I don't want to have these big, long, belabored videos, but definitely to document the rebuild, restore of this tractor in the aspect of respect that it deserves. So it's definitely going to be a build. It will be coming up. It's not going to be a short-term build. It's going to be a long-term build, surely on the fact that of the significance of the tractor, it being a Senior, too, the monetary value that I'll be putting into this tractor to get it back to where it should be. I'm going to make sure that everything is done absolutely 100%. The other thing that is kind of like changing my mind is this pile of junk that's sitting on the floor. Actually, I should say good junk sitting on the floor. And what that is a 1056 long frame, mid-60s tractor, wheel horse tractor, obviously. You can actually see the belt guard. It says 1056 on that. And the reason why I bought this tractor, and this is exactly how I bought it, in bits and pieces, boxes, minus the motor, because I have been asked and also persuaded by peer pressure to kind of build a puller and try my hand at pulling maybe a little bit next summer. So that is what I have here on the floor. It is the project that I have started just a little bit, and I'm kind of debuting, not kind of, I am debuting to you today. Why a 1056? A 1056 only because, number one, it's a 1056 that was for sale cheap in boxes. Two, it's a long frame wheel horse tractor, so that way it'll be a lot easier to put a big Kohler into it. Like I'm actually going to use a Magnum 14 motor for this puller, and if you recall, during my 857 build, it was a real pain in the neck to try to get that Magnum 10 into that short frame. Number one, the hood's lower, so I had to run the stumpy little oil pan on there, which is not good for pulling. It should have a full-size oil pan so that we have as much or correct amount of oil in the oil pan for the motor. So running a short frame with a short hood was just not going to be good. I mean, I needed to get a bigger tractor. So I found this tractor on Craigslist in my local area, went during lunchtime at work, picked it up, and I have brought it home. Basically, all the sheet metal's in real good shape. Somebody did spray a little bit of orange, but overall, it has all the pieces. I mean, the fender pan is nice and clean. The seat pan is nice, although it needs to be recovered, obviously. But, you know, like the shifter plate is there. This is the lower section, the lower frame cover that goes inside the tower. Gas tank strap, foot pedals. It came with two mismatch hubs, but it doesn't matter. Those are 1-inch hubs, and we're going to do a transmission upgrade on this tractor, so it doesn't matter. Obviously, the lift, the front axle, we're over there, right there underneath the car. I have the front tires and the spindles. It did come with a original 3-speed transmission, which is right here on the floor underneath my Grand National. But again, a 3-speed transmission is not necessarily what you want to use when it comes to a wheel horse for pulling, because it only has a 4-pinion rear differential. From everything I've read online, the 8-pinion is really the way to go, which means typically, or I shouldn't say typically, I think they're all 8-speed transmissions, 6-speed, 8-speed transmissions had 1 1/8 inch axles, or not all of them, most of them did. So you need to have a 8-speed transmission with 1 1/8 inch axles. That way you can have an 8-pinion rear, and that's what I went out and bought. At least that's what I thought I bought, because I cracked the case to make sure. I actually bought a 8-speed transmission with a 10-pinion posi traction chuck, which is really freaking cool. And it's in minty shape. I mean, this thing is in perfect shape. The spider gears, the axle gears, everything is in excellent shape. But after reading online, one of the worst rear end chucks to use is a 10-pinion. It's worse than the 4-pinion, it sounds as if. So that means the transmission was a great buy. I mean, the thing is minty clean. Oh, I mean, it's not minty clean, but the gears, everything is in awesome shape. So the transmission by itself was awesome, but I am going to have to swap an 8-pinion chuck into it if I want to pull, which I have on its way. Now, I learned the hard way about something. These 10-pinion axles, the 10-pinion posi chucks have different length axles. One is short, one is long, because the actual center line of the differential is offset. So that necessitated that I go out and find a set of 1 1/8 inch axles for a standard 8-pinion. And you can see here, they're even, right? This is the short leg of the 10-pinion rear chuck. This is the longer one because it's offset. As you can see, I couldn't get the hub off. So this has become a little bit of a project, but I was able to find a real nice set of 1 1/8 inch axles that are for a 8-pinion rear. So I have my axles, I have the rear coming. I will clean all this up and then put it all back together. All the bearings are in great shape. It just needs to have new seals and obviously a new case seal. So I'll be showing that in a video coming up. What else? Oh, like I said, I have a Magnum 14 motor for this tractor. I got to go pick it up. We're going to do a lot to that motor. We're going to get a cam. I'm going to get an aftermarket cam. I'm looking for a billet rod. Probably going to do a JE piston. Sorry, JE piston. This is why I want to edit. JE piston. We're going to mill the head. We're gonna do everything to it. So it should be a fun build. It's not gonna be minty. I'm not painting it. We're not going hog wild with it in the sense of looks. It's gonna be all about function. It's gonna be about pulling. And I'm hoping that it all works out. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your interest. Hopefully this will hold your interest for a little while. I am working on the frame today. It had the classic cracks. I've already welded and ground it down, but I'm going to work on my frame a little bit today and get onto that transmission as soon as the 8-pinion chuck shows up, and then we'll have a video on that. All right, thank you very much for your interest. Hopefully you find this interesting. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Later, guys.